Want to support your favorite content creator without spending a dime? Now you can with Gawkbox. Hop on your Android or iOS device and search for the creator, I kinda like this guy, and scroll through and find out ways you can donate to the creator for free. It's happening. It's happening. It's working? News got dropped today at 12:23 p.m., February 22nd, 2018. Mark it down in your Paladins calendars as one of the biggest moments in Paladins history. OB64 is being reverted. No more cards unbound. No more cards unbound! What? What's going on, everyone? Kami here, and we got good news. I haven't been able to make a Paladins video that I thought to myself, this is good news. But here I am. So on Twitter, Hi-Res Chris, again at 12:23 p.m., February 22nd, 2018, released a Google Doc pretty much running down everything that they're going to be changing in the upcoming patches for Paladins. And probably the biggest change is the removal of cards unbound. So let's go through some of the changes that they're planning on implementing, my thoughts on them, which are pretty much all good, exciting, hello, no cards unbound, and talk about the other changes that'll also be coming up with Paladins. So Cards Unbound got released in OB64, it split up the queue system, split up the player base, and if you just read everything online, you would assume that everyone hated it. But something I learned during this process is that the internet community of Reddit and the forums are actually a vocal minority when we talk about the whole Paladins player base in full. There's a lot of people that don't care about that stuff and they just get on and play the game. They see, oh, you can get up to level 10 cards, I'm gonna grind it out. They don't really think about it. They don't care. They just play this game a few hours a week and whatever. Well, the vocal minority has won. Over the past, maybe like a week, Reddit has started to post MS Paint troll posts, as they put it, claiming that they will not stop unless Cards Unbound is reverted or removed. They even bring it up in this post saying that they hear them loud and clear. But not only Reddit, I mean everybody that I've ever talked to doesn't like Cards Unbound. So what are they going to be going with? Our team will be working over the next major release cycle to remove Cards Unbound from the game. We're replacing it with a new system that I believe a community will be very excited about, including the reintroduction of deck building point system and a method of obtaining cards that will be way less grindy. So reading that sounds great, but I'm still a little jaded from past patches of Paladins. The words that I believe the community will be really excited about gets me nervous. Monka S. But reading on, we want the focal point of the card system in Paladins to be a fun way to customize your champion to your favorite playstyle. We also want to unify the competitive and casual experiences with the card system so that we use the same system for both. No more separation of bound versus unbound. Fantastic. We'll be working out the details of the new system, but the rough outline of the current thinking is as followed. Note, subject to change. Legendary cards will be called Talents. Talents will only have one single level. Talents will be unlocked for free by earning XP and gaining champion levels. For example, level 1, 5, 10, and 15. Boom, red flag, I'm afraid. Getting level 15 on a champion is huge, and if they block a level 15 legendary or talent that is better than the rest, that's so much grinding you have to do. But let's keep reading on. All champion cards will now be free, no cost or grind. Fantastic. Deck creation will return to a point system where players can distribute 15 points across the 5 cards they select for their loadout. Each champion card will have 5 ranks to choose from. Okay. And it says that all champion cards will now be free, so there's no need to get duplicates to level it up. You just click the plus and minus button. People are probably familiar with that from the old pre-OB64 patches. Talents will not have ranks and are not included into the loadout point cap. New talents will be added over time to give further varied playstyles. Champion mastery will no longer be capped at level 25. Ooh. Instead, it will work similarly. Is that right? Similar? Hold on a minute.
Similarly.
Oh. Instead, it will work similarly to player account leveling, which has no cap. So this makes it so the 1, 5, 10, 15 champion levels aren't going to be as bad because you could probably gain the levels faster since there's no cap. Okay, cool. Card chests will be removed from the game and we'll be reevaluating the best options to compensate players for their previously earned cards. Hope to share details soon. That's one thing that I've at least had trust with Hi-Res, is that when they change their system, they're so used to changing their system, they're very good at compensating for the change. So I have high hopes for that. The release plan is to start testing this new system as soon as we get it on the PTS, hopefully next week. Your analysis and participation will be very important over the next few weeks as we work the kinks out of this design to deliver the best possible product to you in the next update. I mean, this seems good. They're combining the queues. You can grind out a certain champion. You don't have to have RNG. You get the talents if you just put in the effort and the grind, and you have all of the cards already unlocked. It's insane. It's something that's been needed for a while, and if they start focusing on cosmetics as their main monetization, I think it's going to be huge. Now, I do want to go up to the very top, and that's up here. It says, looking solely at the metrics, the Cards Unbound system introduced in OB64 has actually been successful in increasing our overall player engagement and new user conversion, while at the same time helping increase our revenue per player. So at the core, you have to understand, Hi-Rez is a company and they need to make money. So if they did something and everybody's saying that they hate it online, but the numbers are showing that it's climbing and they're making more money, it's like, why do you stop? Well, you stop because it's a bad system. I mean, you should just be aware of that. It's a bad system. So that means Hi-Rez needs to put in a new system that will make the players unhappy happy again, while also still continuing to increase their overall player engagement, new conversion, and of course revenue per player. If you make a game more approachable, more players will play it. And while you might see the initial player base not spending as much because they don't have to grind through that crappy grind, more players equals more people for a chance for them to be cash cows or just people willing to pay for cosmetics. And of course, making good cosmetics also will increase your revenue. And I can tell you by far, all I've seen, the artwork for all of the skins coming out, just going up, 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 up. I think they'll be fine with just doing cosmetics. It's so amazing. I'm so excited. I've been kind of feeling a little bit down about the game, and it's been hard to get on to stream and make content. And this is lit a fire under my butt. I'm ready for the Chevy. I'm ready spaghetti. All I need is a time traveling device to fast forward about 2 weeks so we can start playing that type of Paladins. Now let's move on to the Battlegrounds. There are some changes coming in because you have to imagine if anybody has been playing the Battlegrounds, there's cards, there's items, or stuff like that, and it wouldn't make sense for it to stay the same if they're removing the whole Cards Unbound system. So it reads, thank you so much for everyone that has been helping us test Battlegrounds over the last few weeks. After seeing the results of our recent external testing and some exciting internal tests of additional changes to the mode, we've decided to make a few big changes in regarding the Battlegrounds. One, we were removing the alpha version of Battlegrounds from the core Paladins game effective tomorrow, and that's going to be the 23rd of February. Over the next few weeks, we're going to make a number of aggressive changes to the mode that, based on internal testing, we think will make it considerably more engaging and fun. Our code name for these changes inside the studio has been YOLO, if that gives you any indication of what lies ahead. Hopefully you will enjoy them as much as we have in initial testing. I have to say, when it comes to balance of new champions, the only thing that allows a company to balance them is from internal testing. I've not been too happy with champion releases, so I'm hoping that these internal testings are better than the internal testings of Paladins' new champions. And right underneath, super excited about this line of text. When we re-release the mode, it will be a separate game client under a different name. The mode will have the current map and some of the elements from Paladins, as well as some significant changes, but it will be relaunched as a new game. We expect it to be free to play with monetization around skins and visuals. That last line is what I'm excited about. With monetization around skins and visuals, I have to hope that if they are deciding to do it with the Battlegrounds version, that they're also deciding to do it with the core Paladins game. And we hope to start a public testing of an early alpha mode of this game as soon as we can within weeks. Sure, I want Battlegrounds to succeed, you know. Battle Royale games aren't my top loved games. I don't like running around for 20 minutes finding nothing, racking up cards or items or scopes like in PUBG, only to be sniped across the map from a ×84 scope and thinking to myself, man, what did I just do for the past 25 minutes? I understand there's a lot more depth to that, but that's just how I look at it. I want to jump into a game and frag, and Paladins allows me to do that. On the other hand, squads are very fun, get friends, do all that. I want to see the Battle Royale mode succeed, but man, am I hoping that this new system works out well. Now, they decide to make this change because, in short, we think that the things that are necessary to make Paladins Battlegrounds great and amazing are in conflict with the things that will make the OG version of Paladins that we all know and love great. Right now, we are in a spot where the changes we need to make to each mode are in conflict with what the other mode needs. We think that having separate team focuses on separate games will produce a greater result. We also don't want users to be confused about what Paladins is and should be. Paladins should be the best damn hero shooter ever made, and we want the Paladins team focused on that goal. We'll aim to do the same thing with the Battle Royale game and the team working on that. I mean, all the words that they're saying right now I'm super excited about, but talk is cheap. And now they go over the future of Paladins and what they hope to accomplish. They list as listening to your concerns, as being as transparent as possible and addressing those concerns. The fact that they were open about reading about the Reddit and making the changes is huge. I mean, I'm sure the Reddit community is ecstatic right now. There's so many times changes are made and sometimes they don't do a very good job at explaining why they made the changes, or changes are needed, and I just want to see a Hi-Rez employee tweet and go, listen, we know and we're working on it. Give us time. It's like, cool, they know. Releasing high quality updates, part of the commitment to implementing those quality of life issues that all of you have been asking for. I mean, sure, yeah, it's something they've said for a while, I think. Ensuring that we listen to both the PC and console players equally. I'm kidding. I'm not hating on the console players, but I have to say that some of the changes that have happened in PC, mainly the projectile speed increase, were mainly made for the console players, and I didn't like them. I went to go play TF2 recently and started playing with Demo Man, and I was like, oh, this is what a projectile feels like. Not Pip, where it's pretty much hit scan. Okay. Again, no hate to the console players. It's good to equally listen to them. Improving the art quality of our game. I mean, that's one thing that they're doing a pretty damn good job at it, so you know, put it lower on the list. Let's fix more bugs. Get a core system that sticks and we don't have to change it every few months. Adding fun content exploration events like Smite has done for years. Paladins did that for a little bit where they had like all 5v5 victors. It was pretty silly and fun, but they removed it and then they had like a PvE mode. They also removed that. I don't know. Again, something that'd be fun and really make the game feel more polished and like you could do multiple things instead of just loading in and fragging in a game. But let's get this system down first. Continuing to improve and position Paladins as a world-class shooter experience. I mean, that's improve the game. And never lose focus on what makes a game great. Focus on the core game experience and the core community for the competitive hero shooter game we all love. Before I forget, we've been really enjoying the art you've been producing and posting on the Paladins subreddit, and it has inspired us. We have some great artists among our players. We should do some sort of community vote and get some of the best art pieces into our games as sprays. Just a thought, let me know what you think in the comments below. Hey, that's my line. Tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. and again, that's the 23rd. We will be going over more details in the Dev Insight show. Crazy stuff, man. Are you kidding me? I never thought this day would come. I guess to sum up everything, I'm incredibly excited, but also weary about the future of Paladins. At first, they were kind of dropping hints yesterday about tomorrow making a big announcement that everyone's gonna love, and this is the first time in a while that they've held up to their promise. I was expecting maybe a little bit of tweak here and there. It's like, oh, it makes Cards Unbound a little bit better, but they're like, no, we're removing it. So I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I want to go back to just trusting when a new patch comes out, all I am is excited. Ever since patch 20-something, it feels like every patch that comes out, more than 50% of the patch I don't like. And it's sad that a patch coming up that's removing everything that's been done over the past few patches is the first patch that I've liked in a while. Let's get to the point where we're adding new stuff that I like. Not that I'm a core person that this game needs to balance / make changes around, but I think I can speak for everyone that we're super excited about the removal of Cards Unbound. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Nailed it. I just hope you're as excited as me. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm not gonna be one of those people who asks you to like and subscribe, so I'm not gonna ask.